All right, everybody, it is day 19, 11 days to go on this Talk to Camera challenge. And today I wanted to talk about bringing your audience into your story. First off, I am no expert at this. One of the powers of the Zettelkasten is that I am able to gather information from all these different sources, look at all this information, connect it with similar pieces of information, and then develop my own take on all of that. Before I can bring you into my story, I need to know my story inside and out. It has everything to do with what is my why. My why, my worldview, has everything to do with what I believe that the world needs. The world needs Christ-centered content created by sanctified disciples of Christ. I envision an army of servants of Christ creating content, taking that message outside of the church buildings. Did you know that the early first century church, they didn't even have church buildings, and yet the world that was steeped in paganism, they were able to turn that world upside down. So I'm saying part of that discovering divine connections, or maybe a better way to say it would be rediscovering divine connections. Can we do that today in the 21st century? I have found an amazing analog tool in this digital age. I'm talking about connections of real intelligence in the age of artificial intelligence, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This video is not about attempting to tell that story or share that vision yet. In order to tell that story, share that vision, I'm going to have to make a real and deep connection with you somehow. The only way I know how to do that is to really let you know who I am. That's kind of scary. That is so much scarier than just hitting the record button on my camera. I need to decide how much I'm willing to share. Really, how authentic do I want to be? How intimate do I want to be with my audience? How much am I willing to share to serve you on behalf of Christ? I guess that's what it's all going to come down to. And then, does that align with my why? Does that align with who I want to be? I've actually got a quote. This was a video I was watching of Chris Wilkes. You should just be yourself. Not because it will make you more likable, it won't. But because it's only by being yourself that you'll find people who like you for who you really are, rather than someone who you're pretending to be. I think that's a pretty cool quote. What Chris said about this is, he said, the advantage to this is that no criticism will fully land. Flip side of that is that no compliment will fully land either. I think that's a pretty neat insight. Yesterday, I said at the very end that, no one really cares about your story unless they see themselves in your story somehow. People are looking for ways to click on another video. So, before you click away, I've got to actually tap into the human condition, our vulnerability, the difficulties, the challenges, all these things, because we share that. My story is not exactly your story, but we share the human struggle. And so when I'm telling my story, it's not going to be, I grew up in this place and I did this thing. Now I might include some of that stuff, but it's really about how I can connect with you on an emotional level, and that's going to be key. Then it's sharing the victory. Why did I follow this path? what if I hadn't followed this path? And what if I'd followed this path sooner? And then it's about helping you see this potential vision and seeing yourself as part of that. I hope that makes sense. So I want to bring up Chris Ducker again. He says if you're telling your story right, you're going to be able to attract the best and repel the rest. So, you're watching these videos, I'm attracting the best. You're only going to be interested in this channel if your why somehow relates to my why. So I'm going to get the best results of telling my story to you if your why is aligned with mine. And then everything is going to gel together, and hopefully it's going to work. Again, this is me learning. I am no expert. We'll see. Day 19, 11 days to go. Keep seeking the Lord's face. God bless.